Picture this. You're standing at the front of your classroom. 20 little eyes on you. Or actually, 5 are under the table. 3 are fighting over a pencil. 1 is spinning in circles and the rest loud, distracted, and definitely not ready to learn. You haven't even started teaching yet. And already your energy's at 0. You're talking, but nobody's listening. You're managing chaos instead of guiding learning. Sound familiar? Here's what nobody told me when I started teaching ESL to little ones. If your lessons feel messy, if your students are bouncing off the walls, if you feel like you're running a circus instead of a classroom, it's probably not because of your plan. It's not because of your activities or even your behavior management. It's your routines. And once I understood that, everything changed. Not overnight, but slowly, consistently. Today, I'm sharing the 3 routines that changed everything, like everything for me. The structure was simple, but what I added, that's where the magic happened. By the way, hi, I'm Mira, and I've been teaching English to young learners for over 20 years now. And since 2017, I've also been running my own ESL school where I work with incredible kids, helping them grow in confidence and curiosity and communication. And over the years, I've really seen it all. Chaotic classes, magical lessons, total flops, and total wins. And today, I'm sharing with you the exact routines that have made my classroom feel like a place of calm, connection, and real learning, even with the wiggliest, wildest groups. And what I want to say is that I didn't invent the concept of routines, but I made it mine. And now my students walk into class knowing exactly what to do and leave still singing in English. And let me show you how I made it work. So let's dive into the 3 key routines that completely transformed how I teach and how my students behave, engage, and thrive. Let's jump in. Number 1, a routine to start the lesson. Here's the deal. When students walk into your classroom, they're not arriving as a blank slate. They're walking with a baggage. And I don't mean their backpacks, obviously. Maybe they just fell in the hallway. Maybe someone didn't want to share a pencil. Maybe they're still thinking about the cat they saw on the way to school. Or they're simply overtired and haven't eaten anything. I mean, it is possible. And for ESL kids, there's a whole extra layer that you have to remember about. They're also navigating new sounds, new instructions, new expectations, all in a language they're still trying to decode. So I needed a way to gently but clearly tell them, stop, you're here, you're safe, we're switching gears, this is your space to learn, and we are in it together. And the tool that I found? My hello song. Simple, structured, mine. Now listen, I didn't just go on YouTube and pull a random song. I created one myself. You know me, I love creating stuff because I wanted something that fit my energy, my students' rhythm, and the exact message I wanted to give them. It's not a sit down and be quiet kind of song. It's a move your body, join in, reset your mind kind of song. Simple and short. It is short. Even my bouncy kids, you know, the ones who can't sit still for more than 3 seconds, you know them, right? They love it, because it lets them move, sing, and connect. It gives their energy a place to go without shutting them down. And it's not just a transition. It is a ritual. And over time, it becomes this deeply embedded cue in their brain that says, oh, we're starting now. We're together, and this is our rhythm. And so after the song, we move straight into classroom rules. And I know what you might be thinking. Rules? Isn't that a bit rigid? What about freedom and creativity? But here's the truth, especially for young children. Rules are not about control. Rules are about clarity, about belonging, and about safety. And every space in society has rules, whether they're spoken or unspoken. At the supermarket, you don't take food and leave without paying, right? At the library, you whisper. In church, you sit and listen. Nobody walks into those places feeling oppressed. We just understand what is expected. So I teach my students, our classroom is like a little world, and every world needs a map. Our map is the rules, but we don't just talk about them. We make them visual. We act them out. Sometimes I'll even let my students lead the rules that day, and they love it because it's not about don't do this. It's about this is how we care for each other so everyone can learn. And over time, those rules aren't mine anymore. They're theirs. You'll start hearing students say, hey, rule number 5, raise your hand, or rule number 1, listen when somebody's talking. And that's when you know they have bought in. So what's the result? Calm, focus, and real readiness to learn. So the combo of the hello song and classroom rules became my classroom's emotional anchor. So it's the first 5 minutes of every single lesson. And honestly, it changed the entire flow of my teaching. Now, when we finish that song and those rules, something shifts in the room. Really it does. Like the noise lowers, the fidgeting stops. Not completely, we have to remember about those fidgety kids. Eyes come forward, brains tune in. Even the kids who usually struggle, they settle into the pattern. Because now they know what's expected. They know they belong. And they know we're here to learn together. Number 2, transitions. Let me talk to you about transitions because, wow, okay, this was a battlefield for me. Some of my groups, angels. We move from coloring to a speaking game and it's smooth like butter. But others, let me tell you, the second I say, okay, now let's bam, noise, standing, talking, pencil chaos, the whole mood flips. And that's when I realized kids don't always struggle with what to do next. They struggle with the space between, that weird, uncertain moment of what now? Especially young learners. Because even if you're super clear, they're still translating everything in their heads. They're trying to follow you and each other, and it's a lot. So what I did was simple. I created micro routines for transitions. Not long explanations, we don't want that. Just short, rhythmic, fun little cues to move from one thing to the next. It could be like a clapping pattern, one to a short chant, a countdown in funny voices, like a robot voice, whisper voice, Oprah voice. They love that. Or even a movement break, like stand up, jump, clap, count backwards from 10. It takes less than 30 seconds, but it gives their energy a direction. And so the magic here is that you're not trying to kill their energy. You're just redirecting it. You're saying, yes, you're excited. Yes, you want to move. So let's do it together with purpose. And when you do that consistently, even your most energetic kids start following the flow without resistance. They know it's coming. They like it. They feel in control. And it's not about calm down. It's about here's how we shift together. Number 3, end of lesson. I used to end lessons in a bit of a rush. Okay, time's up, line up, go, 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 go. And it always, felt kind of messy. Like, unfinished. The kids left buzzing from the last activity and I was left wondering if any of it even landed. So now I end every class with 2 simple things. 1, student self-evaluation. This is where my kids pause and reflect on how they did in class. And it's one of the most powerful things I've added. It's just, these 3 quick questions. Were you active? Did you try to use English? And remember, try is the keyword because effort, in my opinion, matters more than perfection. And we have to remember, kids usually start learning English. So, did you follow the rules today? And so they answer with a thumb up, middle, or down. And why do we do it? It's all about building awareness. It's about helping them notice themselves. And you know what I noticed from that? The moments kids know they're going to reflect, their behavior changes during the lesson. They want to feel proud at the end. They want to say, yes, I tried, and mean it. And that's a huge win. Okay, and then after the evaluation, we have a goodbye song. We sing our goodbye song. Another one I created myself. It's light, it's joyful, it's predictable. And here's what I love. Sometimes, as the kids are leaving, I hear them singing it in the corridor. Repeating English, laughing, carrying that rhythm and language out the door with them. It may not seem like a big deal, of course, but that's when I know this isn't just a class. It's a memory, a feeling, a habit of learning that sticks. Okay, so now I want to just give you these final thoughts about these 3 routines. These 3 routines, starting strong, transitioning with purpose, and ending with reflection, completely reshaped my lessons. Not because they're flashy, but because they're consistent, because they're predictable, they're safe. And when kids feel safe, they learn, they engage, they grow. If your classroom feels wild, or your voice is tired, or you're constantly reacting instead of leading, start with routines. Just 3, just small. You'll be amazed at how much they change. And if you're curious about how I do evaluation with my students, or you would like to know what our hello song is, goodbye song, what are our classroom rules, drop a comment below and we'll send you a video. Thank you very much. And until next video, all I want to say, and I always say that, happy teaching. Goodbye.